EMSradio.com.
EMS information for the next generation.
The EMS Garage is a production of EMSradio.com. You can find us on Facebook, just search EMS Garage. You can find us on Twitter at EMS Garage. Email us, emsgarage@gmail.com, or call us, 303-720-6001.
The EMS Garage.
Checking out right now. Okay, I got DG on the phone there. Want to know if you can handle that call as well. Just confirming you are checking the patient. Sale 922 is on scene. Here's buddy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EMS Garage / EMS World podcast mashup here at EMS World Expo 2018 from Nashville. Today I'm joined by Gene Saunders. Gene, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Well, I am originally from Chesapeake, Virginia, where I was a police officer for 33 years. The last 10 years I've been in Port St. Lucie, Florida, where we've established the headquarters for Project Lifesaver International.
Very cool. And so you retired to Florida, I take it?
Well, retired in one sense, yes.
Right. Well, from the police career.
Exactly.
So what is Project Lifesavers? Tell me a little bit about that.
Project Lifesaver is a nonprofit 501c3 that was established 20 years ago while I was a police officer for the express purpose of tracking those with non-cognitive disorders that may wander and become lost, such as Alzheimer's, children with autism, Down syndrome.
Wow.
And it's accomplished through a radio wristband that sends a transmitter signal to a receiver on a designated frequency for each band, where trained law enforcement or first responders can track that, locate them, pick them up, and bring them back home safely within a reasonably short time.
So you were saying, so is it's a wristband? It's not an anklet or something like that? Or
It can be worn on the ankle. It's
Okay.
usually worn on the wrist. It's a plastic encased transmitter.
Okay.
And it sends out a signal about every 1 1/4 seconds.
Wow. And then is it only activated if the person leaves their domicile, or is it always active?
It is always running. It runs for about 60 days before the battery needs to be changed. But the
Okay.
only time it's monitored is when there's an active search for that bracelet.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about privacy concerns. So somebody signs up to do this for their loved one, could that fall into nefarious hands, if you will, especially children or at-risk adults? You would think that could be a problem.
Very doubtful.
Okay.
Because the only ones that operate in this frequency are first responders and law enforcement.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the program. How does it work? So I take it I have to buy this as a subscription? I mean, how would that happen?
And that actually depends on the agency doing the program. Since we started, we've got about 1,600 member agencies in all 50 states and Canada.
Wow.
Different agencies conduct their program in different ways. Some give the bracelets at no charge. Some do give a little service charge. Some don't want to handle the bracelets at all, so they send their clients straight to us, and we give them a monthly charge to maintain the bracelet. So it depends. If somebody wanted to, say, buy the outright bracelet, it would be about $300.
Okay.
And that would come with a year supply of batteries and bands.
Very nice. So let's say we do it as an agency, and we have a bunch of at-risk people in our community. So you get it out to the community. What happens if somebody goes lost? How does it activate the system?
The caregiver would call in to the agency that's doing the program. A trained team would come out with the receivers.
Okay.
We go in prior to all this and train that team on how to use the receivers and what search patterns to use in order to locate the signal. They'll come into the point last seen, they'll locate the radio signal, and then it becomes radio direction finding to the strongest point of the signal, and that's where the person is.
And do you, I assume before drones, and we'll talk about that in a minute, you used to do it via triangulation and you had to do it that way?
We can do it by triangulation. It's easier to do it by triangulation, but you can actually do it with one person with one receiver.
Wow, that's amazing. So tell me how drones have changed your game, if you will, how you're doing this.
Well, on the ground, we can get a mile and a half range off of the transmitter. For a long time, if we wanted or needed to go airborne to get more range, we, of course, had to use a helicopter. Well, anybody that knows anything about helicopters knows they're expensive, and many times you can't get them when you need them.
Right.
So about 2 years ago, we teamed up with Lockheed Martin. We were able to take our technology and couple it with a drone.
Okay.
So now a first responder can carry that drone in the trunk of his car. As soon as he arrives on scene, they can launch the drone, and instead of a mile, mile and a half, now they're getting 5 to 7 miles range.
Wow.
Then they can send in the ground team to wherever the strongest point of the signal is.
Okay. So, how are they seeing that? Is it just all via tone, or do they have to? Do you have a radar screen? Or, I mean, how do you know where the radar or where the sound is coming from?
Well, actually, when you're using the drone, you get no sound.
Okay.
You're reading a strength signal that comes out on the control panel.
Okay.
And the control panel will have a map of the area you're flying over. So now you know just about where it is and where the strongest point of that signal is. The whole method behind using an airborne tracking is not to pinpoint the person. It's to get the ground team into where they're getting a signal, and now they can come in and pinpoint the person.
Nice. Okay, that's great. So you could fly the drone in a grid pattern and know that, okay, grid D1 or whatever is where we found the best signal. And okay, that makes a lot of sense. So do you ever see or foresee the future where maybe this technology could be sending GPS signals or something like that? Is it that sophisticated, or it's just merely sending out radio signals?
It's merely sending out radio signals. You know, the one thing that I have found, especially in doing this kind of work, is the simpler that you keep it, the better it works. I'm a strong believer in what they call the old KISS principle.
Yep, I like it.
You know, keep it simple, stupid.
Yep.
The more technology and the more coupling of technology you put into this, the more complicated it gets, but it also adds more failure points to what you're trying to do.
Right.
Radio technology has been around a very long time. Radio direction finding has been around since World War II. You know, and I think we've got 3,500 reasons why we know it works, and that's the number of rescues our member agencies have made without a failure.
Wow, that's very impressive. And that's in how many years?
19.
Wow.
Going into our 20th.
Impressive. So how do they report into you that they've made a rescue? Do you just know it, or they just send you information? Or
we ask them to send in after action reports. They actually become a member of our organization. We hold a conference once a year where they come in and we put on different new ideas about the things that they work on, the diseases that they are encountering, how to handle people, what's the new technology, what have we done to improve it. And as part of the program, every time they make a rescue, they send us an after-action reports. What we do with those is not only use them for statistics, but we go after grants from the government and from foundations so that now we can turn that money into equipment for our member agencies.
Wow,
and then just give it to them.
Wow, I have to tell you, it's an amazing program, Gene. So where can people find out information about the program and how to get linked up with you guys, and maybe even how to start getting training?
The easiest way is to go to our website, which is projectlifesaver.org.
Okay.
If you want to know if we're in your area, just click on the tab, Where Are We?
Wow.
And put in your zip code, and it'll then tell you where we're at.
So can consumers do that same thing? So
Yes.
let's say I have somebody at risk and I want to know. Okay.
Oh yes, absolutely. In fact, a lot of agencies started because the citizens in their community have gotten the information and now come to them and said, we want this program, we need this program. And the only thing I can tell agencies anymore, with the growing population of Alzheimer's and autism, they're going to have to search.
Yep.
Do they want to make it easy?
Right.
Or do they want to keep doing it the hard and expensive way with negative results?
Do you ever find people trying to take off the band?
Every so often, but not in a great number. And then we have ways that we work with that. We just use a little intuition, or initiative, I should say, as to, okay, where can we put this where it won't bother them? I had an example of one lady, she carried a doll baby everywhere she went. She wouldn't wear anything, so I just stuck the transmitter in the doll baby's head. Worked fine.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Gene, you're an innovator, and I love it. And how can people contact you? Can they do it from the same website?
Yes, they can. In fact, it'll have the staff pictures and bios on there, and they can click on it and contact me directly. Or they can call me at my office in Port St. Lucie, which is 772-446-1273.
Gene, thank you so much. You have an amazing program, and it gives me chills. So thank you very much. I love it. And you can find more information about that right here on the EMS Garage / EMS World Podcast Smash Up here at EMS World Expo 2018 from Nashville, and look for more great videos right here on this channel.